Hey guys, so in this video we will be solving the GFG daily problem. Today's daily problem is maximum intersecting lines. So I haven't read the problem yet, so let's start by reading the problem and understanding that. N horizontal line segments are arranged on the axis on a 2D plane. They start at okay. Maximum number intersection. What is the line? Fine. So in this problem, what they are saying is that you are given some line segments. Fine, you are given some segments basically, and you have to choose a point where the maximum number of segments are intersecting. I think this is the problem. This is what the problem statement is saying. Let me make it more clear to you what I have understand here. Fine. So like here, this is also a possible segment. So out of all these, what they are saying that return the one which is giving us the maximum number of intersections. Like here, this point will be giving us the maximum number of intersections. There might be a possibility like here, this line segment, this one, and this and this. So here on this point 3 line segments are intersecting, and on this point 4 line segments are intersecting. So here this point will be our answer. Fine. So these all lines are on x-axis, like this and this on a single line. I have made them up and down to make it more clear to you. I think this is all about the problem, if I understood correctly. Okay, so what is the first approach which will come to your mind after reading the problem? What I can think is, let's make an map. Okay, let us make a map, and we will store the frequency of all the numbers. Like for example, let's take the test case itself. This is the first test case, and I'm testing here 1 3 2 3 1 2 and 4 4. So guys, let me tell you one thing, that I'll be using a concept of difference array here, so don't skip the video. You will learn something new from this video. Okay, so stay tuned with the video. So I have written here the test case, first test case. Fine, and let's understand by this. So what is the first naive approach which comes to your mind after reading the problem? Like we will make a map of array. Sorry, we will make a map where we will be storing the frequency of all the numbers. Fine, let's say the maximum number is 4. So out of all the maximum number we will choose, and we will make an array, or you can say the map of maximum number, and we will start iterating over our given pairs, and from start to end we will mark all the points, the frequency of all the points. Like here 1 2 3. So let me make it on the number line 0 1 2 3 and 4. Fine. So what will happen, that in this 1 2 and 3, so 1 2 and 3 is contributing from this part, from the first. Okay, and from this 2 and 3 means 2 and 3 are also contributing in this range. 1 and 2 and 4 and 4. Fine, so this one will be a single point. So what we will do, that we can store the frequency of each and every point which is lying in the segment given to us, and out of all those points we will choose one which has came the maximum number of times, which has, or you can say which has contributed the maximum number of times. So for these 1 2 3 we will iterate over 1 2 and 3, and we will store the frequency of 1 2 3 here 1 1 1. So one is done. So we will move to the second one, and 2 2 3 we will store the frequency of 2 and 3. So this will become 2, and 3 is also coming 2 times. So this frequency will become 2 times, and we will move to the next 1 and 2. 1 and 2 will increase the frequencies of 1 and 2, 2 and 3. After that we will increase the frequency of 4. 4 is appearing 1 time. So till now we have stored all the frequencies that are contributing how many number of times in our segment. Okay, and out of all these we will choose the one which is contributing the maximum number of times. Like 1 is contributing 2 times, and 2 is contributing 3 times, and these all are contributing 2 and 1 times. So 2 is contributing 3 times, means in all the intersections this is the point where the maximum number of lines are intersecting. So this is the point 2. Fine. So this is a naive approach, and obviously it will give TLE because as per constraint this is not a suitable one. Fine. Yeah, so this is 10 to the power 9, 10 to the power 9, so this will not work. So we have to think something optimal in this problem. So what will happen? Let me explain you the concept of difference array. So if I'm given a segment here like 1 2 2 3 1 2 1 2 2 3 what was the next number? 1 2 and 4 4 1 2 and 4 4. So what is the concept of different array? Let's understand this concept in this video. Fine. So let's suppose we are given these pair of numbers. These are the segments, and I have to find somehow optimally that how many times my each point is contributing. Fine. So let me make this is first, second, third and fourth. Okay, so first and second. So initially all the values of the array was 0, and what I have done is I have incremented 1 on the starting point and I have decremented 1 from the one next to the ending point. Fine. And similarly this is 2 and this is 3. So I'll increment 1 on the starting point and I'll decrement 1 on the 1 point next to the ending point. This is 3, so I'll decrement 1 on the 4. Fine. And this is 1 and this is 2, so I'll increment 1 on the starting point, so this will become 2. Fine. Let me write it more clearly. So this will become 2, and at the end point next to the end point I'll decrement 1, so here I'll decrement 2. So why I'm doing so? So let's suppose that all the initial values was 0. Let me take an example. Let me take sample test case like 1 and 3. Fine. Or you can say 1 and 2. So initially all the values was 0 0 0 0 and 0. So I want to know optimally that how many times my each point contributing in my segment. So for that I'll only check the ending and starting and ending points. So for example here 1 and 2, I'll increment 1 on the first index and I'll decrement on the third index 1 2 and 3. So here I'll write -1. And if I take the prefix sum of this array, so what will happen after taking the prefix sum? Let's see. 1 2 and 3 segments. So if I take the prefix sum, the first one will become 1 and next one will become 1 and this will become 0, and after adding the next to it 0. So have you seen that what has happened here? I wanted to know that what was my contribution of each point in this range in my segment. So by incrementing 1 on the starting point and after decrementing 1 on the next to the ending point and after taking the prefix sum, it has given me the number of times that each element in our segment is contributing in our answer. Okay, so this is the concept of difference array, and I hope you guys are getting that why it is happening so, because for each contribution there will be one contribution of each point. Fine. And what will happen if we increment here 1, then it will start adding, and here it will become 0 at the end point next to the end point. Fine. And after that 0 0 0, because contribution of the points that has ended here. So this is the concept of difference array. We can use it here in this problem to solve this optimally. Fine. So let's try to implement that using this concept. So as you can see here that we have implemented this, and now 4 and 4. So 4 and 4 is itself only a single point, so we will increment here 1. So this will become 0 and this will become -1, because next to the 4 is 5. This one is 5. And now what we have to do is we have to take the prefix sum of this array. What is the size? 1 2 3 and 4 and 5. So if we take the prefix sum, first one will become 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. Fine. And 3 minus 2 is 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1 itself, and here it will 0. So what this prefix array is giving to us? This prefix array is telling that which point is contributing how many number of times in our segments. For example here 1 2, let me write it more clearly. For example, this is the 1, this is 2 3 4 and 5. So this is saying that 1 is contributing 2 times in your array segment, 2 is contributing 3 times, 3 is contributing 1 time, 4 is contributing 1 time, and 5 is contributing 0 times. Fine. So by help of this we can solve it optimally. Now let's move on to the time complexity. Let's analyze the time complexity. What we are doing is we are incrementing and decrementing, that will taking O of n time. Fine. And if I'll taking the prefix sum, then how much time that will take? O of maximum value of the array. What will be the maximum value? Whichever will be the maximum value, and we have to iterate that much in our array to take the prefix sum over all these values. So our total time complexity will O of n plus O of max element. Fine. O of n, where n is the size of array, plus order of maximum element which we are getting in our array. So this will be the time complexity, which is quite enough to get an accepted verdict. Let's code it up and see what will happen. What is the expected time complexity in the problem? N log n. Fine. So yeah, it will work, I think. We have to return int, so int answer equals to int min return answer. And what you have to do is we have to take an array of max size plus 1. So vector is given to us. So let's int mx equals to 0, and for int I equals to length of 0 dot size and j plus plus, and mx equal to max of m and array of yj. Fine. So by this I don't have to press the control plus D because I have a habit of using supply text mode. So here we have calculated the maximum value, and now we have to maintain an array in difference array. So the constraints are quite large. Okay, so let's do a vector of long and difference. And initially all the values will be 0, and we will iterate over our array given to us lines, and our starting will be lines of 0 and end will be lines of 1. And what we have to do is we have to increment our difference of start plus plus and difference of n plus 1 next to the endpoint, as I have explained to you in the concept part. So after doing this we have to take the prefix sum. Fine. So for int I equals to 0, I will use long type. And I have to take the difference of I equals to difference of I minus 1 plus difference of I. Fine. I have to start it from the 1 first index. And over all this answer equals to star max element difference dot begin and difference dot end. For all the possible values we have chosen the maximum one. Let's see. Compilation line dot size, it will be lines dot size. So yeah, it is running fine on the sample test cases. So let's try to compare it and see. Wrong answer. So in this, okay, so there are negative numbers also, so we can't use the difference array here. Instead we can use map here. Okay, so we can use map here. Fine. Let's try to see map long because you can't store the negative numbers as indices. Difference, fine. And difference of start plus plus and difference of n plus 1 minus, this is fine. And after this, what you have to do, you have to take the prefix sum, and along with that you can store our answer. Okay, for auto and map, we start iterating over our map. Let's take a variable long prefix equals to 0 and prefix plus equals to I dot second. We have to increment the frequency, and answer equals to max of answer and prefix. So this should work, I think. Compilation error, prefix answer equals to max of prefix. Why bro? Answer is int. Okay, let's convert it to long as well, no issue. Fine, it is working on the samples. Let's try to submit it. Okay, yeah, so we have got an accepted verdict, so problem solved successfully. So I hope you guys learned something new in this video, the concept of prefix array, that if there are so many segments given to us and we want to calculate the contribution of each point in the segment, we can use the difference array to solve that efficiently in order of n time. Fine. So thank you guys for watching the video, and if you are still having any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. I will definitely try to help you. Thank you guys.